Hello and welcome to Investing Bros. I am T Shroom, and you are tuned in to the first live crypto news show of the trading day. I'm live weekdays at 9 a.m. And man, this is going to be a very, very exciting week. In case you're not tracking, I've got the week sketched out here for you, and we're going to get right on into it. This is Monday. That's where we are right now. This is also the thumbnail for the video in case you forgot what you clicked on. So Monday, we could see a pretty big headline come out today because Grayscale's decision is scheduled for today. Now, Grayscale has had a trust. They've filed for that trust to become a spot Bitcoin ETF. And as you can see, I've got it rated as spicy. That decision is expected today. Whether or not we'll see it or whether it gets lost in the noise, that is to be determined, but it will absolutely contribute to the volatility Tuesday. Honestly, who knows? There's absolutely going to be some volatility. I can guarantee you that. But it's mostly going to be kind of a whistle fest as we wait for the big day, which is the 10th, where we get the decision for, most importantly, ARK Invest, 21 shares, but then also the rest are likely to kind of fall into that category as well of whether or not they are to be approved or disapproved. I am T Shroom. You're watching the Investing Bros. We're going to bring it to you every single weekday, and we're never going to stop. We're going to bring you what's important, what's going to affect your crypto portfolio, and we're not going to be getting caught up in all the noise and all the paid propaganda from a bunch of corporations looking to just make money off of you. But speaking of making money, let's take a look at the Bitcoin charts here on the 4-hour. As you can see, Bitcoin moving up and to the right in the right direction. I've got the MACD pulled up here, and as you can see on the 4-hour chart, we've got a pretty big acceleration in green histograms. That's what we like to see. Also, getting a little bit of a bull cross there from the MACD lines, now pointing up and to the right. This is all in confluence with a big actual price movement of Bitcoin to the upside, wicking as high as 45,246 in, I believe it was last night. I was checking this out last night. I was thinking of taking some trades. I did not take any trades. I will likely be longing Ethereum here before the end of the stream. After the end of the stream. I'm not going to do it on stream because I think that Ethereum needs to catch up a little bit, and that's for that Tuesday play, right, where there's kind of a snooze fest going on. I think Ethereum's going to do pretty well, so we'll long it. Definitely not financial advice. Don't trade it. You're going to lose money, but I probably won't. Take a look at Ethereum. Let's go ahead and do that now. It's something that a lot of folks have been talking about. The chatter around the ETH ETF. Spot ETH ETF is also something that's been getting a lot of attention, but investors don't feel the same way, as ETH has struggled to get up above the halfway line of this regression tool that I've had drawn on here for a while. This one goes back to early December 10th. And really, since January 3rd, since the new year, we haven't really spent much time at all above this midline of this regression trend. So that's kind of the long and short of it. We did get a little bit of a peak above it on the 4th, but ultimately, I think that ETH is overdue for a come up. I think that we're going to be seeing a lot of new money flood into the market this week, and money that's not necessarily the brightest, because ultimately the name you want to own this week is Bitcoin. Right? Bitcoin, I think, is going to be the one to own or to short, depending on the way you look at this event. If it's a sell the news, a buy the news, a hold the news, a stay on the sideline news event, right? But I do think that Ethereum is going to see some upside volatility this today, tomorrow, and we might just make a move up higher, up to 24,000, and touch the upper band of this regression tool. Now, I don't think it's going to go do that. It could, though. If bulls start to kind of take control and make a move higher, then that could be very, very bullish for Ethereum. But if you take a look at the 4-hour again on the Ichimoku, it's not really there yet. The bulls are certainly not in control, but it is trending in that direction. Again, not in control quite yet, but trending in that direction. So it's nice to see for Ethereum. But a lot of new money is going to be floating into crypto, and they're going to see Bitcoin. But they're already going to have some, right? They're going to be like, oh, I bought some Bitcoin for this big event. Bitcoin skyrocket because of BlackRock, because of Valkyrie and 21 shares. And they'll probably be right. I mean, chances are, I think that this price of Bitcoin is going to be very explosive upon the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF, explosive to the upside. That's just my guess, right? There's a lot of very smart people who are taking the other side of that bet. But anyway, a lot of new money is going to be coming to the space. They're going to buy Bitcoin, right? But they're also going to explore. That's the story of crypto. Buy a little Bitcoin, then you explore. Same thing in the stock market. You buy a little S&P ETF, then you start to explore. Oh, what about this whole Tesla deal? What about EVs? Oh, I think I know something about world geopolitics. I'm going to buy a little uranium. You see how the thing goes. Ultimately, I think that all kind of trickles down into Ethereum seeing some upside this morning, and probably into the rest of the day, albeit pretty measured. I don't think that we're going to have an explosion up to 2,400, but we could. And so I want to be positioned for that. All right, guys. Well, this entire episode is brought to you by something that's really, really exciting. That is Bitcoin Day, happening on January 20th of this year. So it's coming up quick, and it's down in South Florida. It's in Naples, Florida. You can go ahead and get your tickets there here at bitcoinday.io, but it would be much better if you click on the link in the description of this video. It's pretty easy to find. Just scroll down in the description. You'll see the Bitcoin Day link. You click on that. Tim and I are going to be in attendance. He's going to be driving down all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, picking me up halfway there, and then we'll be enjoying our time down in Naples, and we'll hope to see you there. Let us know in the Discord if you're going to be joining that event. Let us know on X if you're going to be joining that event, so that we can carve out some time to meet with you. If you live in South Florida, if you live in Florida, this is a really good opportunity to go mix it up with some Bitcoin positive people. Of course, this will be just after the approval or potentially disapproval, spooky, of the spot Bitcoin ETF. Well, we've taken a look at Bitcoin, we've taken a look at Ethereum, but as Tim has said in his video this morning, what he's pointed out is that the alts took a big correction yesterday, while Bitcoin has seen a big move to the upside. Now, what could that be all about? Well, it's pretty simple, right? I've already talked about it. Everybody wants to be in the big name, right? They want to be in Bitcoin because this is a Bitcoin moment, and then it's a crypto moment. Once Bitcoin gets overextended and people say, well, how can I make the same gains that my nephew just made in Bitcoin? Well, you go buy another name, any other name in crypto. Some of the popular names that'll be getting hunted out for sure are Solana to start. I've got it pulled up on the 4 hours. You can see has had a pretty big movement, but has retraced to the upside. That movement down about 7.4% higher this morning as a result. And if you were able to get some Solana down here below $85, man, you really got lucky. Not many people did. It was if you got any low, it's probably below $86, $87. If you got it below $85, you must be on some kind of crazy exchange. I'm not sure, because here on Coinbase, the Coinbase exchange, you did not get it below $85. But that's Solana. It's making a move back to get back up above the midline on the Bollinger Band here for the 4 hour chart. Let's take a look at ADA, the old tried and true Cardano. You can always count on it to move on one direction at least. I'm a pretty big holder of Cardano. I don't think this is the moment to be buying and trading Cardano, but I am a big hodler of it. I believe in it for 2024 narrative. You take a look here at Cardano on the MACD. You can see it's starting to get pretty bearish momentum, swinging back. Right, so it's had very bearish momentum. These red histograms started to wane, but sprouted back up. And now that is starting to hopefully come to a conclusion for Cardano, as that's kind of straightening out, and we may be seeing those MACD lines come back with a fury. But as of now, this does not look as impressive as Solana, because the price action has not come back up and touched that midline of the Bollinger Band, in my humble opinion. You can see that illustrated right there. There we go. As Solana has gotten back up there and wicked down on the hourly and the 15-minute charts, you'd be able to see that a lot clearer, but I'm just trying to illustrate it for you very quickly. AVAX, as you can see, something similar to Cardano, has not been able to get back above that midline of the Bollinger Band quite yet, but ultimately is making a resurgence along with a lot of the bigger crypto names. XRP, another one of note, has a pretty different looking trading pattern here, as it was able to spike up above. And what I noticed last night was when a lot of the altcoins were dumping, down 5-7%, in some of the bigger names, XRP was kind of holding strong. I think it was green. It was barely green. It was up like 0.3%, but it was green. So XRP, I just don't think there's been a lot of new buying of XRP for it to get sold, if that makes sense. A lot of new money hasn't really flowed into XRP, so the folks hodling it are not really inclined to sell it in this level of volatility yet, because they're ultimately veterans like me, probably like you. I don't know if I should call myself a veteran, actually, but I've certainly been in crypto long enough to know that when there's not a lot of new money in the coin, then the downside potential is limited. All right, let's take a look here at some other coins. Another big one is Kaspa. Kaspa has not really recovered very nicely at all. You can see its proximity to the midline of the Bollinger Band there, continuing to be a pretty big gap. And that's one of the wider gaps that we've seen here, just kind of sampling a smattering of these altcoins that took a hit last night. Kaspa, over on my watch list at least, you can see down 2.4%, while the rest of crypto is green. Does that mean you should count out Kaspa? Should you dump all your Kaspa right now? Well, if you want to sell it to me at a bit of a lower price, then be my guest. But Kaspa, again, proving that much below 10 cents, there's just a gigantic body of liquidity waiting to go ahead and buy into Kaspa. You haven't seen, and this is similar to Bitcoin, right? You haven't seen a candle body close below 10 cents since back here, and it really wasn't even a close. Really, you have to go back even further. You haven't seen a candle body close since the 15th of November, right? Ever since then, you haven't seen price close certainly in 9 cents, but really below 10 cents, right? So it's very important to understand that. What does that mean? It means that Kaspa is very bullish, despite the fact that it's not having as high performing of a day today as Solana. It's kind of in that camp with Cardano and AVAX, which are struggling to recover to some extent as liquidity flows straight on into Bitcoin and a lot less into the altcoins. Of course, Solana bucking that trend, up 5% this morning. So Solana being the one that really oppresses me. Let's take a look at Chainlink really quick before we round this out. Ooh, Chainlink doing the best here, guys. And I'm not surprised here. On the 4-hour, you can see those grain histograms starting to look kind of like Bitcoin MACD histograms, and you can see on the midline of the Bollinger Band, Chainlink doing real well. Let's go ahead and jump over to the chat and see what's cooking with all of these good-looking bros. I see Gustavo said, T-Shroom, Tim uses June and July 2009 timeframe in his video this morning. Why? The halving was 2022 or 2020. I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's going to be one I would have to defer to him. So if you tune in today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'd be able to ask him that question again. I don't know enough to be able to give you a solid answer to that question, but he usually has a method to his madness. What I'll say about Tim and his TAs, sometimes he gets real deep into it, and sometimes you might not have followed a specific detail, and so that's probably the case here. Is he probably mentioned why he did it like that, why he analyzed it like that, and it would make a lot more sense. Let's go here. Indo Crypto said apparently BitBoy's old YouTube channel had 1 million ADA staked and they recently unstaked with the intent to sell. I am sure this is pushing ADA down, IDK if true, but Ben Armstrong bought it up recently. That sounds to me like a pretty quintessential rumor. That's going to go in the rumor category for me. I don't know that I can believe that or really find that all that useful. I mean, even if it's true, it probably isn't going to be enough to move the price of ADA, even if they were to sell it, much less unstake it. So there's a lot of reasons why people would unstake a coin, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to sell it. Perhaps they found a stake with a higher, API. So let's go ahead and take a look here. T-Shroom says, Eric Wallen said, T-Shroom, I own Bitcoin. That's excellent, Eric. I'm not surprised, and I bet you're far from the minority of the folks watching this stream right now. Mr. J said, long it live. I'm not going to take a long position live, unlike Tim. Tim will take a position live. The kid comment said, let's go. I'm Shroom. We are all Shroom. In resonance, of course, with Cryptos RS, who is famous for saying, I am George, we are all George. Gotta love big George over there at Cryptos RS. Mr. J said, hey, crew. So we're getting a lot of good chatter here. GS typing in some awesome bros, giving them a shout out. Dylan Martinez said, "Hi, Gia." So we've got all kinds of back and forth. But who was the first chat? It was Nancy Croy. And Nancy Croy, of course, was also... Oh, you didn't get the whole sound effect there. I'll blast it again. Nancy Croy was the first chat of 2024. Nancy, I won't be forgetting that. I will not be forgetting that. Of course, January 1st, I went live, and Nancy Croy was there with, I believe she said the same thing, "Good morning, all." So really big shout out to Nancy Croy. Certainly a hardcore bro. Also seeing Alex O Crypto in the chat. We're going to get to some news here in a second, guys, but we like to spend some time with the community and see what's going on with them. Drew said, oh, here we go. XRP. Lots of foreign countries looking to use it for cross-border payments. Yeah, that's what it's designed for. Certainly. Let's see. Brutal said, well, now there's just kind of talking about some other channels, so we'll keep moving. But Gia S really dropping the truth here, saying, go ahead and smash the like, everybody. Please do. It really helps us out. And I'm sure by now you understand how the like button relates to YouTube channels and relates to YouTube algorithms and all that. And we really appreciate the love that we get here from the bros. Let's go ahead and move on into the news. Chiefly, the most important news is a lack of news, right? Which is this. If you go over to the sec.gov website, you can see that there are no new updates. We had one on the 5th that had nothing to do with the Spotcoin ETF, and neither of the other ones from January had anything to do with the Spot Bitcoin ETF either. This is the website you're going to want to see. You're going to want to be refreshing like a total degen, right? That's what I've been doing just to see if there are any updates, because when they make the decision, it will be updated here again. That is sec.gov/news/press releases. Don't believe anywhere else, guys. Do not believe anything else. It's a meme now to say it's been approved or been disapproved. But until more than likely Wednesday, we might get it earlier. And today there could be a pretty big announcement about Grayscale. But until Wednesday, on this specific .gov website, American.gov website, until it's there, guys, I don't believe it one way or the other. Well, we've got some big bullish news here. Before we get into some of the ETF updates, we've got some big bullish news here, and that is that it's a good news for Bitcoin. E-commerce giant Mercari makes big announcement. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Mercari is one of those where you search up like new MacBook on Google Shopping, and it's a lot of them are like Back Market and Mercari, and it's a big Japanese e-commerce website. Well, they're now going to be accepting Bitcoin. Let's read about it in the details. As of January 5th, the Mercari will begin accepting Bitcoin payments via its Tokyo-based crypto subsidiary, Melcoin. Now, hold your horses there, small cap gem hunters, because I've already done the work for you. This is not a coin that you can buy, unless I am mistaken. Perhaps I could be wrong, but I looked it up. There is no coin for this one. Additionally, Mercari will not display any crypto prices on its website product listing. Instead, it will show prices in fiat yen. However, buyers will have the option to choose their preferred payment method, either in fiat or for cryptocurrency. So it's a pretty big deal. I don't think this is going to shock the markets, but this is a headline. This is a kind of headline that we haven't seen really since, the last bull market, which is big e-commerce giants, big payment providers, payment service providers kind of joining in on the crypto ecosystem, right? Being able to clear payments, being able to price things in crypto, that was something that was very reminiscent of 2020, 2021, right? As it was becoming cool to be crypto compatible. Well, now we're seeing another sprouting up of those types of headlines. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if you've seen them all through this whole time. I have seen them scattered here and there, but the reason I say that is because it was a hallmark of that time, especially those payment providers, because those are the big ones. FIS and NCR, those all are compatible with Bitcoin, just waiting on the sidelines for grocery stores, other retailers like Walmart, Walgreens, and CVS to go ahead and give them the green light to start enabling Bitcoin payments and crypto payments. Also, let me know in the chat, would you ever pay for a Snickers bar at CVS or Walmart in Bitcoin? Is that something you would ever think about doing? Obviously, the benefit of that would be you would probably not have to hold any cash anymore, any United States dollars or euros or wherever you live. You wouldn't have to hold fiat, right? You could just hold crypto. That would be the benefit. Obviously, the downside being that you don't want to spend one of the most valuable commodities that there is today, which is, in my opinion, Bitcoin. All right, guys. Well, we've had a lot of updates here on the ETF front, mainly their fees, right? But there are a couple other headlines I wanted to bring to your attention. And before I do, just wanted to remind you guys, if you're thinking, yeah, man, I really want to meet the bros. Well, your chance is going to be on the 20th of January is Bitcoin Day down in Naples, Florida. Again, if you live in Florida, if you live in maybe Georgia or Alabama, and you want to come meet the bros, or you want to just come mix it up with some Bitcoiners down in Naples, Florida, now that's going to be a really good chance. Maybe you live in South America, right? It's not too far of a flight. If you've got a passport, you can go there and check it out up in Naples, Florida as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, we have our link to this in the description. Let's go ahead and get into some of this news here. BlackRock expects spot Bitcoin ETF approval by Wednesday. Now, I brought it to you in this image already, which is our thumbnail. Kind of this is when they expect the approval. But let's get into some of the details about why they expect it. According to the issuers, the Securities and Exchange Commission sought minor changes. Okay, asset managers must now amend their filings to disclose fees or identities of market makers for their ETFs. So who is seeding the funds, right? The updates are due by 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday and could become public on the same day itself. So we'll find out today who are the seeders of these funds, and ultimately who are the identities of the market makers behind these ETF issuers. I guess those filings have been submitted because the deadline is now passed as of 8 a.m. It's really, really important to make sure you're compliant with the SEC if you're a large financial institution like BlackRock. That is, of course, why they're going this route. Although we did see a headline the other day. Help me out with it, guys, because my memory isn't recalling exactly who it was, but oh man, I can't remember who it was. It was Citibank. That's who it was. Citibank said that they were going to be issuing some kind of alternative investment instrument to where you could get exposure to spot Bitcoin ETF. Eric Wallen celebrating 5 months of membership. Everyone make sure to check out Piper Academy after this. Piper has a new set. Is he going live with his new set? Yo, that is really, really big. That's probably why Piper isn't in the chat today, because he's busy with that new set. Actually, I'm super excited. That's the biggest news of the day right there, is that the new set is ready. Now, Eric, if you're lying and you're getting too ahead of your skis here, I'm going to be real upset with you. But hopefully Piper is ready with that new set. I'm excited. I'm excited to see that. He's put a lot of work into it. In case you have no idea what I'm talking about, Army Piper he's a fellow bro, and he is over there at Piper Academy. You can find him on YouTube. He always goes live at 9:30, and I try not to step on his stream, but sometimes I go a few minutes over. And it's looking like today I have the chance to not do that, and I think I won't because he's got the new set, and I'm thinking about it. So we'll get through the rest of these really quickly. BlackRock, other potential Bitcoin ETF providers reveal fees. So the big one is BlackRock. BlackRock said its fees will start at just 0.2%, and then they will rise to 0.3%. Now, of course, we kind of don't have a frame of reference for these ETF fees, but I will tell you that I do. I've been trading ETFs for a long time. These fees are very low, especially 0.2%. That's insane. So let's take a look here at the fee schedule. The full fee schedule has been released by James Seyffert, who was actually on Discover Crypto. Tim got to talk to him the other day. It was pretty cool. If you didn't watch that, go over to Discover Crypto and check it out. But Seyffert said, this morning was wild for Bitcoin ETF filers. Here's the state of play on the fee war front. Lowest long-term fee is Bitwise. Okay, so the Bitwise is in the lead at 0.24%, followed closely by Van Eyck at 2.5. 0.25. But we also have fee waivers on 3 for 6 months down to 0%. Indeed. So plus BlackRock waiver to 0.2%. So there's definitely a lot to be excited about here on Wall Street. If you are if you were thinking about, foregoing buying these spot Bitcoin ETFs as a fiduciary for your clients because the fees were going to be too high, well, the fees are no longer going to be a variable. This is just very, very bullish for the space. Again, we don't know if there's going to be a huge influx of capital coming into Bitcoin on day one. That is just uncertain. We don't know. My guess is that it's not going to be zero. My guess is it's going to be a lot of money, potentially multiple billions of dollars, maybe even tens of billions of dollars coming in all at once, which would send the price of Bitcoin higher. That's why I think it's going to be a move higher. But let's take a look deeper here. You can take a screenshot and analyze this a little bit later if you want to. Whoa, getting a little crazy there. But as you can see, guys, another important date here is the Grayscale deadline, which is today. It's the 8th. So we'll be refreshing Twitter like a hawk, like an absolute degen, to see what is going on with that, see if there's actually going to be a decision for the Grayscale ETF as well. Again, that is not an approval of an application in the same way as the other ones. That is a flipping of the existing trust into a spot Bitcoin ETF, which, again, I think that one's likely to happen too. I think it's less likely than the others, but I do still think it is likely to happen, and that could be a very big bullish event today. And we'll be going live at 3 p.m., and we'll absolutely cover whether or not that happened. All right. So there you go. Those are the fees there. I mean, it's kind of like not that interesting for me to just go through and read a list of fees, but if you're really interested in this, you can take a screenshot, analyze it later, or you can go over to @JSafe and check that out for yourself. By the way, my Twitter handle is @tshroom, TSHROOM. That's where you can find all of the latest updates from your boy over here from the Investing Bros. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut off a little bit early this morning. It's been a huge pleasure to bring you guys the news this morning and every other day so far in 2024. I'm very, very bullish on the market. Now, guys, we saw some volatility last night. It got kind of scary, right? I think AVAX was down like almost 8% or more. What do? Do you sell, right? Do you buy more? Ultimately, I bought a little bit more. And if you've watched this long into the video, whether live or whether after the live stream, I'm going to give you a little bit of alpha because I bought a couple of assets last night. I bought Caspa, I bought Ordi, okay, and then I also bought a little bit more AVAX. And AVAX was the one because it was just so oversold, in my opinion. But I bought a little bit of Caspa back down at these levels, and I bought also a little bit of Ordi. Now, Ordi is very high risk because it's associated with the ordinals, and I think it's pretty much a meme coin in the ordinals ecosystem, but I do think it's going to do pretty well probably with this event and in the spot Bitcoin ETF approval, and probably through the rest of 2024 and 25. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, bros. I am T-Shroom, and again, I am the earliest crypto live news that goes on in the space, and I'm really proud. I'm really excited to continue to bring that to you all in 2024. The only content that goes out earlier is my partner, Tim, right, who puts out his TA. If you haven't watched it today, you're going to absolutely want to do that because his TA is some of the best in the land. You can do that very easily by clicking on the channel that you're watching right now and go ahead and head over to the Investing Bros YouTube channel that looks like this, and you can click on the thumbnail that looks like this, right? And this is the TA for today. And every single day it goes out live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That is Tim's TA, where he gives you a lot. I showed you guys the charts today, but he goes a lot more in depth on those charts. And there's a lot to see because yesterday, again, those altcoins, they printed some pretty low candle bodies. So you'll want to go see what's going on with that, what kind of new levels to expect, how the Fibonacci's have changed, and everything like that. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. It is 9:30, and so, guys, go ahead and watch Piper Academy right now. I don't know if there's a link in chat. Maybe somebody can drop it, but absolutely, Piper Academy, I'm going to be watching starting pretty much right now. All right, guys, have a great rest of your trading day, and I hope that you're as excited as I am for what we could be seeing on Wednesday. I'll see you then.
Make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA, shouted out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news got the word, doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.